people. Welcome to another very special episode of CT Path. I hope all of you are doing well. Please excuse my voice if I sound a bit low today because I'm not having a very good throat. But yes, welcome back, and I hope all of you are doing really well. Today we have a very special guest with us today who's going to talk about a very, say, touching topic. It's a very relatable topic for all the people, especially for girls out there. She is Miss Winnie Kennedy from Africa, Nigeria, Africa. Miss Winnie Kennedy, or should I call Winnie, is a graduate of political science from Benson University in Nigeria. She's bagged two prestigious awards for commendable character from the university, which is a great deal. She's the CEO of the ROSARIT Foundation. It's a women hub. It's a girl child. She's a girl child advocate who raised hundreds of girls to be skillful leaders, built with proper morals and unquestionable character. She is a humanitarian and a philanthropist and also an entrepreneur. So there is too much to her name. So after this long list of achievements, I introduce you to Miss Vinny, who is right here in front of us. She's a very humble and a very sweet woman who accepted our invitation, and she's here to share her views on uh, girl child. Because she's a girl child advocate, I mean, we can all assume that she's going to talk about the power of girl child, how a girl child is important to nation development, what is the role of a girl child in economic growth, and stuff like that. So, without any further ado, I think we should get right into it. And Winnie, first of all, hi, and introduce yourself. I mean, just a normal introduction to people, and just say a hi to everyone. How you doing? How's lockdown going on for you? And then we'll proceed.
All right. Hey everyone. I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, Pavan and Laughbreed. I'm so glad to be here. I'll just introduce myself quickly. My name is Winnie Kennedy, and I am the CEO of ROSARIT Foundation. My team and I, we go to schools, communities, teaching girls moral education. Because in recent times we've seen the girls of our generation uh, having unwanted pregnancy, delving into child abuse, delving into prostitution, and so many denting acts. So what we do is we go to schools teaching girls the value of who they are and what they represent and how they can lead a good life and become a sort of that person. So we teach them skills that would help them become someone valuable in the society. So that is basically what we do. And we advocate for girl child education as well, because we believe that a girl who is educated would impact positively and have a great impact in the society. So that's basically what we do. That's what we do.
Great. So you started off this journey, Vinny. What was your first thought in the sense, the society is really skeptical about the role of girls, especially in economic growth, which is like a big thing even for me to listen to it right now. So before diving into exactly what you think is the role of a female or a girl child in general, how did this thought came in your mind, and how did the society perceive you as a person when you started this movement of advocating girl child education and started teaching girls about their character and the moral education?
Okay, thank you for the question. First of all, growing up, I had the mentality that I should be a solution to problems and not a problem to be solved. So I had to start looking around my environment. I believe that I had a purpose and I have something to do in life. So I was looking for a problem to solve. And then by the grace of God, I was getting in contact with those type of girls. I was around my environment. I was seeing girls of 15 pregnant, girls of 12 crying of heartbreak. And I'm like, what is this? What is happening in our society? Our society is deteriorating. The moral standard is becoming very low. What is moral is now seen as wrong, and what is wrong is now seen as moral. And then I began to, gather facts and think of how to make these girls, educate them, because one of the reasons why they do all these things are out of naivety, ignorance, peer pressure, misguided information. So they need someone to coach them and actually lead them on how they can exercise their potentials. So that is how the thoughts came about. Aside it being a calling from God, actually, that is that is part of it. So in terms of the society perceiving me, at first when I started, people thought it was a joke. They were like, what NGOs do here, it's all about advocating against rape. Nobody has really come down to look at these other parts of this factor. So everybody was like, what are you doing? This is just a joke. You have to face something else. Nobody is interested. Everybody wants to make money. Girls now sell their bodies. They see themselves as entrepreneurs. Like, I asked some girls and I'm like, what do you do there? I'm an entrepreneur. What do you do? What do you sell? They're like, I sell my body. So these are things that most NGOs do not look at. All they look at is advocating against child abuse, rape. But then the girls, they actually abuse themselves, to be honest. They abuse themselves with all these factors: prostitution, drug abuse, so many things. And then this when I was doing this, when I started at first, people around my environment, around my area, they were like, this is a joke. You're not even serious. Until they saw the response from the girls. They saw how I was, because I was going from from school to school, to communities, to churches, anywhere I can get my target audience, because girls are everywhere. So I was going to the basic places where I could get them, which are secondary schools mainly, and then churches and rural communities. So this is what I was doing. And when they started seeing the response from the girls and changed behavior as well, people started applauding and complimenting. So at first it was like a joke to everybody, but now it's something serious.
Amazing. I think you're doing a great job, and taking out these issues so boldly and then working for them is something which is a dream to a lot of girls, I think. And you are representing the entire female community, which is a great thing. Pavan, you have some questions.
First of all, Winnie, hats off to you. You're doing amazing work, and I think it's a pleasure to see such movements across the globe, especially in Nigeria. And I think you'll find a lot of takers for what you're doing in India, in Nigeria, and you'll find a lot of takers in India, because even in India, the problems are quite similar in many aspects when it comes to abuse or anything related to women and all that. And I think your journey has been very inspiring at the very least, and I think you have a long way to go in this. And if you want to talk about, since I am a student of economics and I've been reading about gender budgeting and all that, so where you would focus on schemes where there would be a balance between females and males, and that way it works out. So, how do you see the role of women or girl child in economic growth? With a context, you can put the idea, you can focus it from a Nigerian context, and then you can develop a global worldview on that. So you can put your thoughts on that. Over to you.
Okay, first of all, um, due to unpopular demand, and contrary to so many beliefs, I believe that the role of the girl child in economic growth and development is to be educated. Now it might sound like a joke and cliche, and it might sound really, really weird, but that is the truth. I believe that an educated girl has a lot to do in economic growth and development. When we talk about economic growth, what do we mean? We talk about having the quality of the well-being of a person, and just economic expansion, if I can put it that way. But then a girl who is educated has a lot to do in economic growth. If I am educated, my children would not be uneducated. And then if we have a future or leaders that are educated, it has a lot to do in economic growth, whether we like it or not. Because the thing that the society is asking for right now are thriving minds. What the society needs are leaders of unquestionable character. And if I am educated and have these things in place, definitely I can do all things. I can do all things and affect lives positively. In terms of the market, I believe that a girl who is educated, because first of all, growing up as a girl child, the girl child has faced so many challenges in terms of she has to be a nurturer, she has to nurture her younger ones, even the elderly ones in the family. She has to teach her younger ones. She does chores. So those things make her, it builds her up to be a leader in the society. And now one who has had that experience in life, having growing up with, in fact, a girl child is a born leader. That is the truth. A girl child is a born leader, with one who has had all those things in place. So most of our society may feel that the girl child, the things that she has passed through in life would actually make her, go down in life. Some men see women as threats, to be honest. So they feel that, okay, with all these things, she'll be busy in the kitchen. She will not have time to run for presidential office. She will not have time to be maybe the minister of finance or affect the economy positively. But then they didn't know that, or they do not know that those things are actually building up the girl child to be a sought after person in the society. So once a girl child is educated, very well educated, both moral, both primary and secondary education, both tertiary education, she can affect our economic growth positively in terms of um, creating, alleviating poverty. She can alleviate poverty because she takes care of the family. She knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Unlike the man, he's very busy, he's at work. But then there are women who have stood up out of this cliche, out of this sector, and made it in life. Examples: the former minister of finance in Nigeria, who is actually the DG of the World Trade Organization presently, Dr. Okonjo Iweala. She's thriving in the markets. She's thriving in the economy. She's making Nigerian economy grow because she has had experience in the house. She has had experience in the kitchen. She knows how to prepare. She knows what to prepare. She knows how this thing can happen, how it can work for the right person, when it can be done, and how it can be done. So the truth is, the basic role of the girl child for economic growth is to be educated. Once a woman is educated, she is skyrocketing. That is the truth. So for our economic growth to be made evident, we need human development. When we talk about human development, there's a link to the girl child. So once the girl child is educated, she's humanly developed to affect the economic growth positively.
Oh, that was quite a good answer, and I think that was a good answer to the question when that people have about the capabilities of a woman as well. So, like the way you correlated a domestic woman being very, very capable of handling a country also. I mean, a leader who's a leader at home is pretty good a leader outside the house as well. So that I think that connection was really good. Pavan, what do you have to say?
I mean, that's a remarkable point, and most of those who are in India and watching us should understand the point that a girl, and Vinny, this for you. So, there's a saying in India: if you educate a girl, she'll educate the family, and if you educate the family, the whole nation grows. So, that is something a lot of people would
Yeah.
agree with you, and I think you've been absolutely on point when it comes to that. And it's essential that in the No, no. In India, a country where education is given a very high priority and a very put on a very high pedestal, and I think we are seeing even the impact of educating women. You have scientists, you have even presidents, you have even the prime minister. So there's a whole lot of things that women can do when educated, and I think even my best friend here, the co-host, is an example of that because if you look at the way she has been transforming herself into a passionate leader, I think it's something very remarkable, and I think that's all I have to say before we proceed. So, Lovepreet, you can take up the next question.
Yes. Vinny, now that you talked about that women have to do with economic growth, and women can take up leadership positions even outside their houses, outside their kitchen. What do you think are the social constraints that cause this problem? What are the societal factors that are involved? Why don't women get these positions in Nigeria and in the world as well? And why don't they get their part of opportunities and respect, according to you?
And so she'll be starting to record.
Okay, personally, the fact remains that the one of the constraints, to be honest, is mentality. So because we have been taught from birth that the girl child is supposed to be in the kitchen, the girl child is she's seen as a second class citizen uh, in the world. To be honest, that is just the truth. So the basic constraint here is mentality. It is mentality both for the men and for the women. Our forefathers, our ancestors, I think they started it. So it is very difficult, even with education, it is very difficult to fly high as a woman, because once you're flying high, you're meeting men and the competition is extremely high. It is extremely high. As a woman, you have to compete. But the truth is, being a woman in a sector that is galvanized with men stands you out. And it makes you to see the men as a compliment, not as a competition. But then that's what we should do. But the men see us as, oh no, I can't let the woman beat me. I can't let the woman surpass where I am. So those things are one of the constraints. And as well, even in education, the woman she has little or no education. She has little or no education. So all those things, actually, education is actually liberation. Education helps you to gain self-confidence, self-esteem. You see yourself as someone that can lead, actually. But a poor girl who is born of poor parents in a rural community doesn't see herself like becoming something big. Presidency is like being a president is like a dream that can never come true. In fact, they don't have to dream about that because it won't come true. But then those are the constraints. Even a woman who wants to become educated, she still faces some things. Poverty. Her parents cannot afford those things. They cannot afford the school bag, they cannot afford the fees, they cannot afford the shoes she would wear, her books, they cannot afford it. Okay, even if they can afford it, she then begins to go to school. And when she starts to go to school, she faces discrimination in the class. She faces bullying. She stands a chance to be raped just because she wants to be educated. So there are many constraints that holds the woman back, that holds the girl child back in the society. But the basic thing is mentality and poverty. That is the basic thing.
Adding to this, Winnie, do you also think that women themselves somehow are also responsible in uh, maybe creating this chaos for themselves? Although I cannot blame women for this, but is there something that a woman must not do or has been doing that has led to this situation where she is considered inferior, or where she stands a chance of being bullied everywhere that she goes? And I mean, yeah, is there a self constraint as well?
Like I said earlier, it has to do with mentality. It has to do with mentality. She has been taught right from birth that she cannot achieve something great. I mean, this has been her mentality from birth. There's something called son preference, even in the house. There's a son preference where the woman knows that she comes second. The son comes first. She comes second. So growing up in a society, she believes that she cannot fly high. It is not even possible. Even if she wants to fly high, she just has to fly medium. She doesn't have to go so high. So all those things affect her. I believe that it is not her fault, to be honest. It is not her fault. It is the fault of our society, how it has built her up. It has built her up. The girl child also faces genital mutilation as well, where her genitals has to be removed. It is practiced in Africa, even in Kenya. The girls has grown up to see that if she's not even genital mutilated, it is wrong, where her genitals has to be removed. And those things stands a chance for her to be sick, open to infections, and so on. All those things build her up to feel that, okay, I'm second class. I'm second class in the society. I just have to take it. I am a second class citizen. So I believe that it is not her fault. It is the fault of our society, our forefathers, the standards they have set for the girl child. She's just working with those standards. So as a girl child, what she has to do is to be determined, to believe that she can be a leader, not just a follower. She can be a leader. So it's determination, it's self-confidence, it's self-esteem. That is it.
Well, this point makes me appreciate all those families globally. I mean, I have seen a lot
Yeah.
of examples, and my own family is an example, which push their girls forward to do some to achieve something big. They are always supporting their girls. They are always so proud of their female children, and they are doing
Yeah.
so much to give them a good life. I mean, I really salute all of you who are bringing up raising girls, girl leaders who are raising girls in such a
Yeah.
wonderful manner, who are giving equal importance to not just education but character as well, because after
Yeah.
all, at the end of the day, that's how a girl is identified. Not just a girl, I mean
Yeah.
a human being is identified. It's the character that you take
Yeah.
along with you and leave and
Yes.
leave for people to remember you after you go. It's not
Yes.
at all
Yeah.
a position, it's just a character. So yes, it's I humbly salute all of you who are raising girl children so well, and I request the others who don't take these things so seriously to please be a little more considerate towards girl children, to give them more opportunities, because girls have been proving wherever they have gotten opportunities, at least in India and in many other countries. I've seen news coming up wherever girls have been given a chance to prove themselves. They have been proving it with their entire will. They have been proving it all together out there. And the best part being that girls don't even compete that way. They do it because they are girls. They always taught to be very giving. They always taught to be very resourceful, very loving, very motherly and nurturing. So they wherever they go, they spread happiness, even if they're at higher positions. So a girl is more likely to take a decision which is fit for all of you and fit for the growth of a country, or uh, for the organization that she's working in. So yes, that's a great thing. Thank you for giving us some insights on this, Vinny.
All right. Winnie, I think we've covered quite a lot of points over here, and it's always
Yeah.
a question. The question that comes to me at this juncture is, if that is the role of women in the society, so you have to educate them and then become leaders and then become people who aspire to do a lot of things and then set up their own companies and all that. Then what should be, in your opinion, the role of men in the society, and how does the balance work out? What is the ideal way to bring about an equilibrium of sorts, and how do you think that can happen? What is your view on that?
Okay. In my own opinion, everything still boils down to mentality. The role of the men to help in this fight for equality is to cooperate, is to see the woman as a complement. Even in the Bible, it was written that the woman is a helpmate. But that doesn't mean she's below you. That doesn't mean she's your subordinate. A woman can be your equal. You can still work with a woman and succeed. The thing here is women has been blessed with a very high IQ. They've been blessed with so many things that can help drive the vision of the man and their vision as well. So a man has to see the woman as an equal. A man has to see the woman as a complement to him as well, not just a competition. The role of the man is, even to our fathers, our brothers, our friends in the society, help lift the woman up. Don't just see that her vision is vain. Don't see that what she tries to do cannot even work because she is a woman. The man has to support the woman in everything she has to do. It all boils down to mentality. Education liberates the mind. So if a man is educated as well, he should know that a woman can help move this nation or move our economy forward. And so he has to support her, he has to help her in any way without looking for anything in exchange. He has to help her to thrive in every sector she decides to thrive in every sector she decides to move in. A man has to support her in education, in business, whatever she puts her mind to do. As a girl child, we have so many dreams, so many visions, so many things we want to accomplish. Most girls wants to be president, most of them wants to be prime minister, so many dreams. So all the aside the mother being available, the father has to be available. Mentality, reformation of mentality. So that, in my opinion, is the way we can fight inequality.
I think that's a fair point, and the emphasis on mentality is important because
Yeah.
the last few let's say months or whatever we saw in India and maybe in other countries too, there's a certain bias built into the system or the psyche of men that they always no, there's something called, you should not, there's no balance, you should not be very open about things. But I've seen with my own friend circle, including Lavpreet and other groups, where I think they want to do what they love doing, but something comes in between and some social constraint comes in, the family is not really okay with things, that they're bogged down by that. But their own brothers or they are all very they're allowed to do what they want, but then the equal opportunity is not provided. That again boils down to, as you said, mentality. And if I look at it from this perspective, where if it's not just mentality at work, but it's rather a certain built-in system or belief that because of other various other factors, people are not really encouraging them. There is a social problem in the sense that you have work opportunities that are not really safe. In the sense, there are a few cases where we have seen in India and other places that the workplace is not safe for women. So people are putting emphasis on the companies and the office spaces, or what you can call it, that you need to provide adequate security and also ensure that there is no discrimination of any sort in the offices. And to add to it, I'd just like to put out a very important statistic that came out in the context of India. So the government has come out to address this particular problem that in India, in some states, we call it provinces. So there's a disparity in the sex ratio due to a misguided belief that you should only boys can manage the families well. And to counter this, a place where there was a skewed ratio of sex ratio, the government, the present incumbent government, came out with a scheme to educate the girl child. And this, I believe, has been a trend in the past, but this time it came out with renewed focus. So I think this kind of focus in the policy level alone is not enough, but even the society at large, I think you have to keep on driving message that you need to educate women, and it's not just educating them, but you have to give them equal opportunities and the freedom to move around, think freely, and then work on their own and rise up. And we have seen across the world so many examples of women rising above all the obstacles and trying to, the sky is not just the sky is the limit, but sometimes the sky is also not the limit. So maybe in the context of growing, uh, where there's no borderless, where everything is now virtual. I think we have to drive home the message that it's not just men at work, but even women at work, and they can be equally as good. And this is something, another statistic. I just want to digress just one bit. So, Indian armed forces and all, there used to be a particular perception that only men could fight in battles, and now this has changed with women being allowed to even start and become fighter pilots and Air Force and all these. That's I mean,
That's really
the good
commendable.
news is things are changing. And that's the main point.
Yeah. But by the way, adding to this, Pavan, as a woman, I mean, as a female girl myself, as a female student myself, I think parents in society are somehow also forced to think this way because whatever is happening around us. Given that when a child is born, why parents are so thoughtful about it, why do they start worrying, is because the society does not seem safe for her. Is because a girl apparently they think would not give them any benefits, rather we would have to spend a lot on this girl, is what they think. So that's how the cycle starts, let alone the dowry thing. That's something which is not as prevalent but still very clearly prevalent in some parts of the country, in India at least. But I think when it comes to security, when it comes to the pride of women, families consider girl children as their pride, and whatever is happening around us in the society is not very apt. And any parent, even I as a parent, would really worry about my child. Okay, if I have a girl child, I'll be really worried all the time, and I would try to restrict her in certain things as to just to ensure that she is safe. So sometimes I feel very educated families who have very educated girls who are very, very capable, sometimes they're also restricted because of the things that we see happening around us. Because when it comes to female security, what I have observed is earlier there used to be this pattern that the uneducated, the poor girls are being raped or are being harassed at workspaces. But now, even the most intelligent, the most powerful girls, the girls that belong to powerful families, are also being harassed all the time. And that is done for multiple reasons. That could be for revenge, that could be for fun, because for somebody that's just fun. But for the girl and for their family, it's over after that, right? It's over. So I personally feel when Vinny is saying that it's all about mentality, I personally feel we also are very responsible to at least provide that kind of an environment where parents can actually get encouraged that yes, if we give birth to a girl child, she's going to take this family forward. She'll have the guts to get equal opportunities. Maybe maybe a lot of families are giving their girls a lot of freedom and a lot of opportunities, but then whatever is happening with their girls is somehow making other parents question that should we even give this kind of freedom to our girls. And again, at some point, I think even girls are very responsible. The girls should be very responsible in the sense that if they are given resources and freedom, they are supposed to you know take it very positively and make something good out of it. If you don't give your parents the reason to trust you, why will they trust you, is the whole point. So I think it's a responsibility, collective responsibility of everyone in the society, and girls themselves also. I won't make them the victim here. I would like to ask them to get up and start proving yourself at the first place. Only then can you demand your rights, when you're fulfilling your duties in the better way, okay? If you're not giving any chance to your family to question your character, to question your choices, that's when they'll be giving you more freedom to explore the world and to make choices. So so it's all in all the role of everybody, and I really wanted my girlfriends to take this message from here, that even we are responsible to what our parents see and then they perceive what's happening in the world. Okay, if some other girl in some other country is doing something which is not acceptable, okay, then my parents would probably also think that my girl might do something like this at some point in life. And that's where they would probably put some restriction on me. So I hope we get this point. So the entire girl community is responsible for, for showing our parents, showing the world what all good we can do. It's our responsibility to show them. Okay, Pavan, I think it's time we ask Winnie how she thinks the perfect world should look like, and how do we make that perfect world according to you? What are the solutions for empowering girls?
Yeah,
What do you think?
you can actually give us one or two pointers about how you are trying to go about it in Nigeria, and that can be very helpful for those in India also.
Yes.
Sorry, could you repeat again, please?
Yeah, so the point is, so if we were to look for solutions, so it's not just government but society wise, and so what kind of solutions would you like to see, and from a context of Nigeria, how have you been trying to solve the problem of perception?
Okay. Um, Everything still boils down again to education, because any form of education, to be honest, either formal or informal, either in the classroom or outside the classroom, everybody works with information, everybody works with knowledge. So if a new information comes in, it reforms the mind. So if a certain person has a particular mentality or a particular perception, if given a right information and adequate knowledge, it transforms the mind entirely. So I believe that the solution is education. I'm not talking about just the classroom education, including the informal education. Like, for example, I sat down and decided, okay, how can we go about this thing? Because most teachers do not have enough time to talk about um, these dancing factors in the society aside their curriculum. They don't go outside their curriculum to talk about all other things that affect our society and lives entirely. So I decided that I have to start doing something. It's not just about the government. The government does not come to schools and sit down with the students. They don't have that time. So we as individuals, we as the citizens, we have to take up this baton, because we want to see the right society. We want to see a better society where everyone can thrive, where everyone can succeed at the end of the day. So I thought about it and I said, okay, I have to start going to schools. Most times when I go to these schools, they give me like 30 minutes to talk to the girls, 25 minutes, 15 minutes. In the short time, I make it dialogue wise. I make it in the sense that after talking to them, they are able to share their minds. They're able to share what the former information they had or the mentality they had. And once I talk to them, it reforms the mind. You now see that, okay, what they were thinking is quite different on what is the right thing. So it all boils down to we taking it up as citizens, as individuals, to go to schools where we can get them, where we can get their friends as well. Because these girls work with friends. They have peers, they have squads, they have their best friends. So once their best friend agrees with a particular thing, the truth is they work with that as well. Because it also, one of the factors that affects these girls as well is peer pressure. So once their friend has a reformed idea, has the right information, she will influence her friend as well. So it all boils down to going to where we can find these girls in their lowest points. Most of them are their lowest points. It's not about telling them to show their parents who they are or what they can do. Most of them don't even have an idea of the right thing to do. So they don't know what exactly to show their parents, what exactly they want their parents to perceive or see of them or believe that they can actually do. So once we encourage them, once we advise them, inform them, teach them adequately the right thing, that's they can as well try to show their parents what they can do. So my idea of a perfect world, I believe that a perfect world is an avenue or an arena where everyone can thrive, where everyone can succeed, as a girl, as a boy, as a man, as a woman. No gender discrimination, no gender inequality, because everyone has something they can bring to the table, whether we like it or not. A man has a lot to bring to the table. A woman still has much more to bring to the table. So everyone has to work together. If we all work together, we can make this world a better place. Because I believe that a woman has something to do with continuity. Because if a woman, the day the woman stops giving birth is the day the world ends. Because a woman gives birth, we believe that the world still continues. We believe that there's still hope for tomorrow. So the day a woman stops giving birth is the day the world ends entirely. So everyone has something to do. Everyone has something they bring to the table. Everyone has something they offer. So if we can take all these things and work with them, definitely we will have a perfect world. A perfect world is free of discrimination, is free of competition, to be honest. Although competition has a fair part to play in gingering, in our Nigerian parlance, in gingering people to work hard, because Nigerian people believe in working hard to get it. It's not, things don't just come easy. You have to work hard. So once competition is in place, everyone has to work hard to do something, to achieve something. So I believe that it is about fair competition. This is not about going to kill the other person. This is not about going to look for another means to bring the other person down. Even in fair competition, there should be an atom of compliment. You're seeing this person as your friend. You're seeing this person as a chance for you to improve, not to fight, not to show that you are better. At the end of the day, nobody is better than anybody. That is the truth. We're all working towards perfection. So in a world where there's no need to show me that you're better than me, it all boils down to us having a perfect world. That is what I believe.
Amazing. Well, this proves that women can be great leaders. She spoke for
Brilliant.
5 minutes in a stretch, and it was no less than the Obama speech, which I've heard when I was young. Amazing, amazing job. Well, I think it all boils down here that we all need to, the best part out of whatever Vinny said was to live in a society to assume that all of us are equal. That's important. I believe that women who who get into or take the word feminism, the thing that's spread on social media so nicely, the ones who take it on their head, they're also going wrong somehow. And
Yes.
the girls who don't take this at all are also going wrong. It's all about striking the perfect balance. It's not about proving women are more better, much more stronger. No. So there are clearly some roles defined by nature which everyone has to play. Apart from that, I think other things like, running a household, leading a country, or leading an organization, or working, these are some things which should not be gender specific. That's all. Otherwise, the nature God has already put in place the responsibilities that every man and woman has to do, and fortunately, unfortunately, we can't change them. It's by nature that we have women are responsible for giving birth, are responsible for keeping a child for 9 months in their womb, and that's universal. That's not even country wise. That's universal, right? So there are certain roles that certain things, women being more sensitive, guys being a little more tough, okay, women being more giving, more selfless, and guys being a little more conservative at times. These are some things which the nature has already defined for all of us. Some of us might be a little different from what in terms of nature, in terms of our perception, but all in all, we already have set rules according to which we are living. But the things which we have created, like only men are supposed to work, or only men have the strength, only they can go to the gym, or only men can run a parliament. No, these are some things which we have created, that they are gender specific. Only women are supposed to cook, nothing like that. I've seen most of the fabulous chefs in five-star hotels are men. So it all boils down to the fact that these all things, we should not be stuck in these small things, little things, because they don't make any sense when you look at a broader, when you look up with a broader perspective, when you look as a educated person. Even for those who are educated and still think like that, it's high time that we all switch ourselves into being equalists, I suppose, where we give everybody a fair chance, whether it's man, a woman, or even a transgender. It's all okay. I mean, everyone has the fair chance to live. And eventually, after being equalist, we should become environmentalist, giving plants and animals also the same respect and the same opportunities. It all boils down there. Pavan, I think if you have something to add, we'll quickly add in and then take the final view from Winnie, the final message that she wants to give, and then we shall close.
I think of all the podcast episodes, the video podcast version that we've done so far, I think this comes close to being the most, informative in a lot of ways. And I think all the girls out there in India, in Nigeria, and everybody who's watching this, wherever they are, I think they should do well to take note from what Vinny has said. The sky is not the limit. Sky might be the limit, but sky is also not the limit.
And
And that's the whole point.
adding to Pavan's point, I would like to just highlight over here that there have been a lot of female leaders that have become a part of CT Path. Navam Singh, if you remember, she's not been in video podcast. That's why I'm taking the name specially. She's been in the audio podcast section when we were just new. She is Miss Bihar and she is doing amazing in her life. She's also a lawyer at this point of time. And there are so many other female leaders. There was one of these rifle shooters, if you remember. I think
Real
Priyal
Kenny, yeah,
Kenny.
yeah, yeah.
Priyal Kenny. She is a rifle shooter. She's a chartered accountant. I mean, they are doing so much. Women are playing multiple professional roles at the moment in life. They're not even just settling in one job. They are having so many skills and so many awards to their name, so many positions and designations to their name. So it's commendable, I think, and I think a lot of
And
female leaders.
Lovepreet, just one observation. I think if we take a quick glance at the number of podcasts that we've done, those who have been, the women who have joined us are more in number than in men, if you
See,
take a look at it carefully.
exactly. So, I mean, that's something which has to be celebrated, and we feel
Yeah.
so honored that so many women have adorned our platform, and they have done exceptionally good in their lives. Winnie is running her own NGO. She is an entrepreneur, a social entrepreneur to be precise, and she is helping other women to grow. What better can be? What can be better than this? Just tell me. So if we have more women like her, if we have more women leaders who have some aim in their life, who wish to help other women and pick them up and walk together, first we need to strengthen our bonds. And if we all walk together, that's when we can actually live a very peace. At least you will go to bed with a lot of peace in your head. That's important, right? Okay, Vinny, any final remarks that you would like to give, how you felt, and any message that you would like to give to our youth?
Okay. I'm quite humbled and honored to having been here. It's inspiring, to be honest. Having heard what you have said and what Pavan has said, I mean, it's amazing. You both are doing a great job, and I'm excited to have been here. And lastly, what I can say to the girl child, and as well to our fathers, our brothers, our friends that would also watch this, is that the girl child does not have a womb just to carry children or to bear children. The womb actually also signifies a carrier for ideas. So once you have a woman or a girl child with you or close to you, do not feel that her role in the society is just to bear children and take care of the kitchen and take care of the house. No, a girl child also has a lot to play in the society. She has a lot to offer. She has a lot to give. I mean, she was trained to give, to be honest. It's about giving for her. It's about giving. But then once you give, you just give out everything without retaining for yourself. So once a man is in her life, be it a father figure, a friend figure, a brother figure, whatever figure the man stands in her life, the man should be able to support her. Now, being a woman, it is not a time to be discouraged. This is not a time to look back on, okay, my background. I'm not from a rich family. I'm not from a family that is doing well. At this present point, that is not an excuse, to be honest, in succeeding. Because the basic role of a woman is to be educated, to be determined, and to be ready to take up leadership roles. Because a woman, definitely, knowing that we're seeking for a world with equal opportunities for the woman, a world with less gender inequality, definitely women will be set out to be in several leadership roles. So she has to be ready to take up these roles. So as a girl child, growing up in a family, growing up in a community, start doing something different. Start doing something different. Don't be a problem to be solved. Rather, look for problems to solve. Be a solution to problems. Don't be discouraged. It's not about getting married. I believe, to be honest, marriage is not an achievement. But having stayed in marriage for 20, 30 years, that is an achievement. But getting married is not really an achievement. So that should not be a goal of a woman, because most girls feel that if I get married, oh, I'm done in life, I'm made, I have succeeded. No, that is just the big, it's not even the beginning of a success. You have a lot to do in the society. We shouldn't just leave the roles to be for the men alone. Actually, the men are tired. They are in several roles, several positions. They are tired. They are overwhelmed. They are pressured. To be honest, an average man is pressured. Even in the family, he's under pressure to provide. He's under pressure to submit. He's under pressure to do so many things in the society. But he can't do this alone. Let's lift the pressure from them. Let's lift the load from the men. Let's take up all these leadership roles to assist them. We're not seeing them as a competition. No, we're seeing them as a complement to us. So we must strive to succeed. Even in education, strive to be the best. Not to belittle others, no, but to show yourself that actually you can actually make it in the society. So as to put not only food on the table, put other things as well that could add value to yourself and to the society on the table. Most women say they are not, they don't bring, they don't only bring something to the table, they add the table. So the man has to bring something to the table. So, but as a woman, to be honest, actually we're at the table, yes, but you still have to bring something to the table. There should be, this is a partnership. You have to work together to succeed, to achieve something great in life. So it's not about putting the men down. Most feminists, I believe, most feminists, they have the wrong perception of feminism. That's why most times I don't tell myself I'm a feminist, because of the narrative now that I see. Most women are going against what the real definition is of feminism. Feminism is not about hating men. It's not about trying to bring the men down. No, feminism is about striving to make the society better equally. You're not trying to, you're just wanting to make your voice heard, not to shut the other voice down, or to shut the other voices down, or up rather, but to make yourself known equally. So that is what we're trying to do in the society. So as a woman, as a girl child, the goal is to first of all get yourself educated. It's not about waiting for your teachers. It's not about waiting for the society. There are books, there are handy books you can get. There are, if on social media as well, though there are misguided information on social media, but there's a platform you can go, like this podcast. You can as well listen to this podcast to make yourself, get yourself educated, get yourself informed.
Got it. Thank
Both
you so much.
inform,
Yeah. Have a
both
nice day.
formal and informal education. So as a girl child, the sky, like Pavan said, the sky is not just your limit. I believe that is your starting point in life.
Wow.
It's not just your limit. That's your starting point. So I believe every girl child will make it and can make it. So that's all I can say.
Thank you, Winnie. That was quite a motivating end to the podcast. Pawan, do you have something to add?
I think she's covered it beautifully, so I think I'm out of words to actually say
That's
anything good.
So I really hope that guys, you get a lot of things to take from this podcast. It's a podcast about women empowerment, but it's not at all only for women. It's for everybody,
Yeah.
because it's a duty for of everyone to bolster relationships in the society, to bolster bonds in a way that we finally the enforce equality here. Equality not just in terms of laws and orders, but in terms of how we think about each other, how we perceive each other, and how we look at each other. That's how we have to improvise ourselves on. And for all my girl listeners out here, girls, please be responsible enough, understand your responsibilities and duties before claiming your rights and your and whatever else you want to claim. Have a proper understanding of what feminism is, and only then become the feminist of today. Otherwise, just remain a normal girl and just try to prove yourself wherever you are with whatever you have. Because I see a lot of, I can quote 100 examples of people who did not have enough resources, but even then they proved themselves to the world, and we all bow down to them, we all look at them as inspirations. Okay, so Mother Teresa is one of those examples, who had nothing of her own, but still she gave. And giving, selfless giving, is something which is uh, a subject to girl, which is which is how girls are characterized, and we shall keep that forever. We shall not give that up at any point in life for any reason. So now that we are done with the podcast, I think we can all go on speaking about this topic, but it's too long. This one is a little too long. I really hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys liked it, please do share your comments down below. Do subscribe to our channel for more such interesting videos, for interesting and energetic guests like Vinny. And keep everyone updated. Share this video with your female friends and male friends, and make them feel special about what their role is, because after all of us have a role to play. And take care of yourself. Always, always, always know that work on your personality. The outer beauty itself will become beautiful automatically, will become attractive automatically, if you have that kind of a thought process and that kind of a conduct in the society. People will love you. I promise you that people will love you. So when I was sweet 16, I had similar perceptions that girls might be having at the moment. But trust me, now that I'm 22, in the last 6 years, a lot of things have changed, and my perception towards beauty have also changed. So your thoughts, what you say, how you conduct yourself, your character is all that's going to go with you, and that's going to remain in society for people to remember you even after you're physically gone. Work on that. Work on your personality. Stay happy, stay healthy, take care of yourself, and stay tuned with us, guys. Bye bye from India and from Nigeria.